Can be a very momentum-focused game if a team slips up on that point B defense, and momentum's definitely in the favor of Team Gigantti. Just need to see if CIS Hope have had a nice halftime rallying cry and come back into this, and maybe, Des, we get to see that fifth map tiebreaker at the end of all of this.
Quite possibly, or Gigantti just find themselves securing the series here and now and securing that first spot C. That's wait and see.
Well, they're undefeated so far, and it's looking pretty good for them at the moment. They could go with that 5-0 record, only matching Angry Titans in Group A. Kenzie already get dinked a few times. Shadow's going to have that high ground available to him, moving around to the side. CIS Hope are emerging onto the point, and already going to have to backtrack because the damage from Team Gigantti is too strong.
Yeah, CIS Hope rocking out on that double sniper, just trying to find an opening pick. There's the pick they were looking for. They find out Shadow, the in-house Hanzo god we keep on speaking about. He will get rezzed up, and that's Main bringing down Cloudy.
His kills coming back and forth. It's Shadow back on top after the resurrection, finding Eng. Already CIS Hope having to think twice about this push because Davin already onto Kenzie and Unfixed there, going into full retreat, knowing full well they need a team around them to get anything done.
Yeah, just the constant pushback coming out of Gigantti. When they found Shadow, I think CIS Hope definitely identified that as an opportunity to go. However, with the res coming through, suddenly it becomes a very threatening scenario to be in. You've got to still pull back and be able to respect the damage that he can put out. Both of them are about to get their ultimates online, and with no Zaryas in this game, it's basically up to them when they choose to drop them out.
We're taking out the competition immediately. Unfixed dropping to another arrow. Protection is there to bring Unfixed back, but now you don't have a res for a good amount of time to bring Main back from the other shot that Shad is able to put out. And Des, you're right, they're sitting on ultimates at the moment. Dragon Strike available for Shadow. Unfixed has one of his own, but there's a lot of defensive options coming out from Team Gigantti, whereas at the moment, not coming out from CIS Hope.
One thing to really notice that a lot of these Hanzo players do at this level is they constantly just fire blind arrows at corners in the expectation that someone walks around and gets dinged while the arrow is traveling. You saw it happen to Main. Here comes the pushing though. RCK already bringing down Sharik. This fight feels like it's over before it's even began.
Unfixed and Kenzie have taken down Shadow and Davin, so they've been able to bring it back. Chow being eliminated. There's the Dragon Strike cutting through the point. RCK drops the self-destruct, hoping to get a mech back quicker, but the Dragon Strike finishes him off before he's able to complete. So CIS Hope now have a slight man advantage on the defense. They're still alive and fighting. Shadow's about to go down though. Sharik had his number with the Goomba Stomp. And now it's up for Unfixed and the rest of CIS Hope to take out the remaining members of Team Gigantti as they try and fight against this offense. 1 minute 35 remaining on the clock for CIS Hope. They have control, but Team Gigantti don't want to concede pressure. But when they're losing members this quickly, they're forced to.
RCK is going to do what he can to at least stagger it out for another couple of seconds, but this point is well and truly done. Going to be about 5 minutes, 15 seconds in the time bump for Gigantti to push on towards the second. No huge ultimates online, you might say, that can really change the way that this is going to play out. CIS have got a few of their own online, and the key one to look for is Main's Transcendence, because that can negate a lot of what Gigantti want to throw at them.
They're going to throw a Shadow on Genji at them. We've seen how lethal that can
cannot
be from
negate that.
Bold, and it's going to have difficulty negating it, Des. They can do it, but there's some difficulty to it. Ultimates in favor of CIS Hope as they're pushing through the point B. They're taking it slow for now, trying to scout out where the competition is. Fortunately, Team Gigantti making it very hard for them. Transcendence being traded out. There's a self-destruct over the top. Davin's going to get possible kill to Kenzie. Unfixed will shut him down to make sure it doesn't happen again. And that's how you shut down Shadow. You throw Sharik with the Primal Rage at him and beat him senseless and follow up and hit the tin can. Unfixed going to shoot the Angel out of the sky, and Chow finally going to bring down that Monkey because CIS Hope are bringing it back. Self-destruct over the top for RCK though. He brings the balance back towards Team Gigantti. Shadow's jumping onto the Doomfist to get back to the fight quickly. Does miss the elbow from the top rope, but Main's going to punish him for that as he takes him out. Master brings RCK into the fray, and already CIS Hope have to back out though. The spawn advantage is too great for Team Gigantti.
CIS help at least net them a third of that second point, so it wasn't a fruitless endeavor, at least forcing in for those fights. It does mean though that, like you say, Gigantti, Shadow's now going back over to an ult race. Did he even pull his ult out in that fight?
No.
He changed to Doomfist. Now he's gone back to the Genji. So it's more that panic pick is going to cost him what he had towards the blade, but being back on it again means the opportunity there is there for Davin to change things up himself and go to Brigitte to try and deal with the dive coming through. The answer isn't really there to match though, because it's Unfixed playing at long range on the Hanzo, and you're also looking at Kenzie playing on the Brigitte himself.
He's about to get that Dragon Strike, and they're already Team Gigantti are pinned in this corner. This could be huge for CIS Hope if they keep him confined to that finite area. So he's going to send the Dragon Strike through. They're fighting into it. Self-destruct goes over the top. It's forcing a decision. They've got nowhere to go, and Chow's going to take out Ripper. Shadow on the high ground, firing the Storm Arrow out. CIS Hope, they've got so close to capping this. If they can just clean out this one fight, they should be able to pull it away. Davin still in the fight. The Sharek Primal Rage is huge. He takes out both supports. Just needs to remove Davin. They're going to do that and cap it with 3:11 remaining in their time bank.
Sharek, the big boy on the attack there for CIS Hope. Both of the big Primal Rages that he had brought down key members on the other side. And that one, it was the healers. The previous one, it was all about bringing down the DPS. But he's definitely having big waves impact on his team in this round. Now they get to go on the defense, though. We get to see what Gigantti are going to bring out on the attack, and I fully expect to see them rock towards something, likely based around dive with snipers.
We'll see. Shadow's got to have the El Clasico Doomfist. Let's focus on CIS Hope for now on their Deemfets and double sniper, as you'd expect on point A. Unfixed and Kenzie rolling out with the Widowmaker and the Hanzo. They're going to be rolling the 2 dive tanks as well. Winston, D.Va, and of course the standard supports you'd see with this composition.
Standard supports you see in almost any composition, it feels, for the most part, except for when you're running 3-3. Just Mercy and Zen just bring so much. The utility of these 2 heroes being able to both increase damage and heal damage is a utility you will struggle to find anywhere else in the game. That's why they are seen as so impactful. Not just that, but obviously 2 huge ultimates which can have fight-changing impact in a lot of ways.
They're going to merge into the point and set up. Just to remind you what's at stake here. Both these teams are going through the top 8. That's confirmed. Who's going to take the first seed, though? Team Gigantti, currently undefeated. And as the way the standings sit, they'll be facing Young and Beautiful in their first round matchup, the 4th seed from Group A. CIS Hope, of course, they're facing Snakes. I think they're a little bit more formidable than Young and Beautiful, so it's always advantageous to flip it up and get that #1 spot, because they can do just that with the head-to-head victory and any win over this Team Gigantti lineup.
It does make things very scary, and no team, I think, wants to face Gigantti at this stage. In that first round of knockouts, you want to see what they're going to bring, because let's not forget, what's coming into playoffs, it's going to be that Wrecking Ball patch. Teams are going to need to adapt. A lot of them will change things around. And to be honest with you, the teams you want to set are probably those mid-table teams who you might feel you have a small edge over purely based on a better grasp of the patch. If you're a team like Young and Beautiful coming up against Gigantti, who very much so have their things together, they've got Sailor behind them as the coach, they will respond to these things incredibly quick. I would not be surprised if they've already found an answer.
Team Gigantti looking to roll a double shield quad tank. This could be their hut strategy where they hold out a finite point. We know how that goes, though, as the Dragon Strike comes out from Unfixed. Hopefully we've seen some adaptation from the last time they used it. But for now, they're sticking together, rolling out as a unit, and they're just staring down CIS Hope from across the way. Hi guys, how you doing? We're just waiting for our ramp it up, and then we're going to move on to where our objective is, and they're taking control of the point. 1 foot on it, hiding behind the shield. They're spraying out damage. The damage output from CIS Hope is significantly higher. The problem is the resistances of Gigantti are beating them out. They're trying to split their attention, allowing windows for Kenzie to go. RCK seems to be throwing himself out into the mix. He's been focused a lot. Unfixed, taking out Masters, so CIS Hope have the first blood, and with the D-Mech onto RCK and a kill onto Davin, this push is surely going to fall apart for Team Gigantti.
I just hope Gigantti don't hold on to this long enough that it becomes a unwinnable first point. They already threw away a series a couple of weeks ago by sticking on this for a good 3.5 minutes. Now, I understand the intent again. It makes sense when you think about it on paper. Problem is, Hanzo exists in his current iteration. Dragon Strike will tear through this team if he gets it online. And as you saw with Kenzie and Unfixed, both of them, as soon as they saw this comp coming out, moved away from the high ground on utility and thought, well, let's get some flanks on. Kenzie moved to the left, Unfixed went on top of Hut. They just didn't have a response to be able to deal with both double flanks coming through.
Similar pathing from last time. RCK going to take a shortcut to get ahead of the pack. He can. He's got the rocket boosters completely available too as Chow. Now going to rejoin the team, so full strength lineups, Infosight. Going to keep track of them. I don't think Gigantti minds if CIS Hope know where they are. That's not the objective to hide from them. The Coalescence going to try and clear out the high ground. There's the Primal Rage. They're bopping them, trying to go for the environmentals, but everyone's falling short. But it has disrupted Gigantti enough for CIS Hope to look for a kill. Sharek on the brink of death. Will this man die? The Dragon Strike's going to cut through, go for the Supercharger, but it won't kill it. Kenzie will take out Ripper instead. He's falling around to the side. Supercharger still online. The shield's broke. Pollitt, Cloudy, Sharek's going to get the kill. Here comes the Graviton Surge from Gigantti. But they've lost multiple members already. RCK trying to level out a kill with the self-destruct. But Kenzie's been grounded by the Holt of Shadow, and a punch to the face will seal his deal. It may be sloppy, it may be slow. I think Team Gigantti may have done enough, and we'll find out after this pause.
That's what you're riding on with this comp, is that Supercharger coming online, so you can just basically murder the other team with the extra damage that it gives, even though your team doesn't really have any solid damage dealers on side. If it fails in this push, they have to change things up, because the chances of getting that Supercharger back online for the next fight or for the final fight potentially of their time, not going to be worth it. But with how things are going, they're showing some merit to it. We had a lot of questions over it the first time we saw the comp. This time, it's working a bit better.
Well, the difference between last time we saw it, they went inside that hut and just stayed down there. And it's such a confined space that the Dragon Strike can roll through it and kill multiple targets. This time around, playing more open, they are exposing themselves to more angles because you can come up behind them, you can go off to the side and split their attention, but they're making it work a lot better than what they did in their previous attempt.
Last time round was a bit of a fiesta. We'll say that much. As soon as the Hanzo gets the ult online, it does change everything. As you saw in that fight there, potentially, they did manage to split out because they didn't put themselves into a corner. Biggest issue of being in the open like this is you do open up flanks for the Widowmaker, the Hanzo. That's what you saw happen on their first push. This time around, it's been a bit more decisive because they've got kills. That's what counts.
Well, we're still waiting to find out what's going on with this matchup. I believe it's obviously usually some technical issues on the player's side.
Chow doesn't have the best internet sometimes, so I think in this case that will likely be the cause. Even though he isn't disconnected, bit of lag sometimes, it happens.
Absolutely. And Volskaya, well, we're jumping onto that second attempt. Obviously, Team Gigantti, they're having to contend with CIS Hope's full push, and they're struggling to match CIS Hope because they haven't even got past the first hurdle yet. But the time bank is looking very similar. They did burn a lot of CIS Hope's time on that first attempt. It's around about 1 minute, 1 minute 33.
1 minute 30, about 1 minute 20 was left.
1 minute 20, something like that left on their point A offense. So they are matching the time bank. It's just whether they can, first of all, cap point A, because we don't even know if they've done that, and then move it on to point B to complete the map.
Absolutely. And with how things are going, like I said, this is the second push they've gone with this comp. Now, the biggest issue is it is a very slow comp. Usually you can get 45 seconds for an attack, so you can have a good 6 attacks or so when you're trying to go dive. Not always the case with this comp. You maybe get 4 solid attacks, then you have to change up what you're doing, or rounds over in that case.
Well, we're going to take a quick break while we have these issues resolved. We're hoping to come back to you as soon as possible. Welcome back. Apologies for the delay. One of the players having a sound issue. We're hoping to fix that very shortly and jump back into Volskaya Industries. And here we go. What a fortunate day we are. And Team Gigantti looking ever so closer to getting that point A. And as suspected, they get the wipe. So they're going to jump in. We're a very similar time bank to what CIS Hope had for their point B offense.
Clearly, Lucio having the answer to their sound issues means they can clear that point out, get themselves going towards the second. Big question for me now is, do they choose to stick? Because I'm pretty sure this is the opportunity to swap. Yes, they will. It's Shadow going across onto the Roadhog. Barely seen him play that before.
Roadhog for the quad tank composition, and that's looking very Season 1 quad tank, Des. It's not the Eagle Gaming quad tank we saw in the previous series. looking to roll onto point B. Already keeping momentum in their favor, touching that point and starting to get progress. If it wasn't for Sharek on Orisa standing the line, they get the first kill. Cloudy's blocking off any kind of healing coming in. So he's putting up the shield to try and negate the beams that are able to come and support that singular Sharek, as he will go down to Davin. Cloudy taking out Chow. Unfixed does get a return kill with the Dragon Strike, but look at the progress already accrued for Team Gigantti. It forces the mistake to be made by Unfixed, and there we talked about it, Des. Momentum play for Team Gigantti.
Quad Tank is king once again, baby. It's back and rolling through the second point of Volskaya. CIS Hope, even with that Graviton Surge with the Dragon Strike, could do very little in response, meaning we go once again, ladies and gents. 3 minutes 11 for CIS Hope, 4 minutes 43 in the timeout for Gigantti. They even had time to show us their fancy double shield comp.
Match point for Gigantti as well. If they win Volskaya Industries, they will win the series, and without a doubt, go through with an unbeaten series record as the top of Group B. And CIS Hope, while fighting valiantly, will go through in that second seed. But of course, they will be able to still fight on as the series goes on. I believe, actually, Des, there is a possibility, and I will double check this. CIS Hope, if they get 4-0'd by Team Gigantti, they could actually drop to 3rd place instead of 2nd because of the head-to-head and the win difference between Eagle Gaming as well. So there's a potential that there's more on the line for CIS Hope to lose in this matchup than there is for Gigantti.
And it's scary because after week 3, CIS Hope were coming in as, I believe, the only team who had not dropped a map. Angry Titans dropped a solitary map in week 3. CIS Hope were 12-0 still. Last week, they lost to Eagle Gaming. This week, they might lose to Gigantti. Suddenly, they aren't the unstoppable juggernauts they look like in week 3, and there needs to start being questions asked around what's going wrong. What are they not adapting to? Of course, everyone's going to be asking that question next week of every team when Wrecking Ball comes to the fore.
That could really shake things up. What we consider top teams could hit the bottom if they don't adapt fast enough to the meta, and already CIS Hope trying to hit Gigantti hard. They're not taking these detours. They're not taking the scenic routes. They just want to pummel Team Gigantti with damage, and Kenzie is going to pummel a bullet right through Ripper's skull, taking him out from the lineup. Going to get resurrected by Marsa, but they have to give up so much ground and play defensively. CIS Hope have turned point A into their playground. The only nuisance is going to be Davin, who's weaved his way onto the back line.
Absolutely needs to be wary not to get caught out from the other side. We've already seen what Shadow can do against enemy Widows, and as I say it happens again. Kenzie gets dropped by Shadow. This feels like it's Gigantti's point, at least for now. CIS Hope going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Try again, try as they mate. They need to succeed here. RCK obviously going to let Chow jump off and get himself resurrected in the spawn room, but it does buy more time. They already had a limited time bank to play against Gigantti. We're about to hit the 2-minute mark for CIS Hope. So coming up to half the time, the Team Gigantti is going to have themselves when they move on to the offense. Of course, they will get an extra 30 seconds if they cap point A. They need to actually cap it first to begin with. Kenzie goes up high, takes a shot, weaves it around the shield. Sharek diving forward with the assistance of Chow. There's a Dragon Strike available for Shadow, and he can see everything that's going on. Going to weave it through, cut off the reinforcements. They're going to have to move fast. Davin moves in, capitalizes, and forces Eng to make a positional error that will give him the kill. And Davin follows up onto Sharek. Kenzie's now left alone, but they're not bothered by him. They would rather hit the back line and come for him later. Davin going to take the fight to Chow, who has been staggered out, and he will die last again.
Did anyone order tank? Because what we just saw there was Gigantti steamroll their way through the DPS of CIS Hope, who felt perfectly happy set off under the light to the right-hand side of your screen right now. Shadow went down quite early after missing a number of shots onto Kenzie, where Unfix got the trade. But after that, LH, Cloudy, and RCK were like, right, time to die, charged straight through and mowed them down. 1 minute left to go for CIS Hope. They may get 2 more attacks out of this if they make this one quick.
They only get 1 more attack with ultimates though, Des. They've got the Dragon Strike, Primal Rage, and about to get self-destruct. Gonna pop the Infosight so they know where everything is. Other than that, they had ultimates all on the board. Immediately opens up with a kill on the Davin. Shadow's gonna answer on
beautiful ultimate.
Resurrection coming in, but the Transcendence is good. Unfix will beat out RCK just because of the pressure from Sharek with the Primal Rage dealing damage as well to supplement it. The damage boost was also strong and present there to make sure he goes through. But Davin with the Pulse Bomb will take out Eng. They're going to retreat again. Late picks coming in for Team Gigantti, making it even more difficult for CIS Hope to have another attempt at this.
They still got a bit of time, mind. They've got 3 ultimates online. Maybe not the most impactful ones you'd want. You'd want a couple of DPS ults on side, but both support ones are there. They've got to contest against Shadow's Dragon Strike here, which of course we've seen rip through both teams already so far in this series. If he makes this a crucial one, Gigantti could potentially wrap up the series in the next 4 minutes and 43 seconds, Tridd.
It's a difficult order to defend against the 33% required for that long, so CIS Hope really need the cap. Self-destruct being put into the fight, and it takes out 2. Ripper and Master. The backline for Gigantti are gone. Chow follows up again. He's putting his team on his back. He's dragging them to that first place finish, and Kenzie and Unfix are more than happy to oblige. Overtime's going to tick down. They're going to get 30 more seconds to run at point B.
CIS Hope pulling that out of nowhere, and Chow again with some more big bombs, and we keep on speaking about these Diva players this season. Last season it was all about combos with Graviton Surges, but this season we are seeing more and more of them just come independently and get multiple kills in this style. Gigantti now have got to retract them for the last 20 seconds. It's going to be the same fight all over again, but Main has got Transcendence. That's
the only difference in there. Davin has a Pulse Bomb, Valkyrie for Marsa. They're already clashing slowly, but the touch needs to be remained for CIS Hope because they're the ones who have to trigger the overtime. Unfixed has the Dragon Strike, moves to the side with the horizontal leap and pushes them forward. He's trying to isolate them. Davin goes down. Self-destruct from RCK goes over the top, but they're sitting in a Transcendence. They're protected. Kenzie gets a kill. Chow takes out Shadow while he's D-next, and Kenzie's going to throw that Pulse Bomb in. It's not going to get any kills for him. I believe it was eaten up. Davin, on the other hand, he'll take out Eng. Cloudy with the Goomba Stomp going to move him down. They're still contesting over this point. Primal Rage being popped for Cloudy to stall out even more time. CIS Hope, they have ultimates, but they need to get back to the point. They're not able to do it fast enough. Chow dropping another bomb. Dragon Strike going to cut through. Will still find Kenzie, so the reinforcement being cut out. Shatter takes out Unfix. Another D-Mech. Team Gigantti, they got all the kills. No progress on point B. They just have to capture point A.
72.7% in factory they managed to capture that one. CIS Hope actually managed to scrape a lot out of that second push with only 18 seconds on the clock. They burst onto the point. You look so sad for yourself.
I am. It's the UI messing me up, Des. It locks it out and stops the progress, and I don't look at the percentage. It's an error that's happened a couple of times today, and I'm unforgiving about that.
I live for your moments of disappointment. It fills me with such glee. But we are not seeing any disappointment in this match because, again, CIS Hope, 18 seconds on the clock. They still managed to clear that point out. Both of these teams have kind of fell into the curse now, peeling away towards the defensive respawn area, find themselves trapped into a very small platform. All it takes is a Dragon Strike to fly through there, and suddenly, well, they're in a lot of trouble. They run forwards or they have to burn a Transcendence. Take your pick. You're either running into the enemy team or you're expending crucial stall ultimates. So well played by CIS. Gigantti now, they're going to try and do the same comp again. I can't say I'm filled with faith or inspired, Tridd, but clearly they are because they're going to go for it again.
They have a lot of time to experiment with this one, Des. 4 minutes 43 on the count. They can get away with it if they want. They just need to make it stick, and if they can do it sooner, they make it even easier for them to go ahead and get that victory over CIS Hope. Of course, if they don't match that 72%, it does count as a loss for them.
And that would not be the most ideal scenario, though in the final week at this stage, as long as they win the series, Gigantti will be happy with the result, I think. As long as they finish in first place and give themselves the best opportunity to progress through playoffs, they will sit there with a smile on their face at the end of the day. Let's see what Gigantti can do, mind you. We saw a lot of Davin versus Kenzie earlier on. This time around, Davin's going to rock over onto the Zarya, They're going to use that speed boost to try and get back onto the high ground once again and go for the same play as last round.
CIS Hope have to assume they're going to do the same thing over again, so must have a strategy prepared for them. They're sending a little bit of shock damage from Sharek. He's going to jump up there, harass them, but they've still managed to get to their first position, and the Amp Up's available.
Watch the snipers here already. So you can see that Kenzie's on the left-hand side. A second ago, we saw him fix on the right. I think he's now jumped across. There we go. So now they've got the split, and you immediately see both snipers kind of like concave around them so they can break this apart, but the dives are coming in.
Sharek's already taken out Cloudy, so Team Gigantti can look to dive onto CIS Hope. It's not going to do much for them. They're one man down. Marsa goes up high. RCK gets a boop onto Kenzie, kills him with the rocket boost. Xiao's going to fall off the edge of the map, though, gets a D-Mech, so it does hinder CIS Hope's offense. Unfix going to pick up the slack as well as Main, and Sharek, Main getting the double kill onto Marsa, and RCK shuts down Team Gigantti's offense.
Bit worried there, Chow, buddy. I'd love to know what happened when he managed to fall off the edge and lose his mech and his life in the process. However, CIS Hope hold strong. They've got ultimates coming online. This is always the curse of quad tank, Tridd, is that you have so much HP on these tanks that every damage point done, well, there's more damage points to do. There's more ult charge to earn. You'll get those ults a lot quicker, and you can chain them a lot quicker like they'll do now. This is only the second fight, and they're already getting towards 5 ultimates online.
Dangerous for Team Gigantti. Part of the strategy going wrong for this one is that, yes, you can make your 6 stack of ultimates or your combination of ults work, but you're giving CIS Hope so much to make it happen on their own end. And with the Dragon Strike available for Unfix, he can just dislodge them. RCK was looking for the E. He's trying to distract him long enough to get it out. I don't think he's committing to it just yet because they're still unsure of where RCK is going to be placing that one. Dragon Strike comes through the fight, moves them away from the cover, and Sharik's there to isolate LH Cloudy. Chow getting a D-mech and then kills Cloudy. Main's going to shut down RCK. Master dropping to him as well. Another Gigantti offense has been shut down.
Gigantti, they've got those ultimates though. Again, this is what you're playing towards when you're playing this composition. Shatter is 5% away from the supercharger, which, as the name suggests, literally turns everyone into a god. An extra 50% damage. There's a reason, like I said yesterday, why it has one of the highest win rates for ultimates used in a team fight. It is just that impactful.
Shatter is going to get that supercharger. Cloudy and Davin and Marsa not far behind. And it's a little bit of deja vu for Gigantti as they're moving around the same location. Going to get themselves set up and emerge. And CIS Hope, every time they run into them, they gain more information about how to beat it. It makes it easier for them to do so. As Kenzie takes Marsa on the roll out to the point. So they've only rolling with Ripper. Graviton Surge goes out. It's going to lock down multiple members of CIS Hope. They're sending over the self-destruct. Only Eng will be a victim because Main popped that Transcendence. They're missing one support. They're also matching what Team Gigantti's got, but they're able to pull it out with the Coalescence. Davin's energy, the supercharger, doing so much work for them. 1 minute 30, just shy of it on the clock. They're going to move on to point B. They're rolling in with just shy of 2 minutes to make this happen, Des.
Remember last time we saw this come out, we actually asked a lot of questions around this and said, why are they running this? It didn't work against a team that, with no disrespect to 1 point, weren't really top tier at that point. I don't think so. It was kind of hard to see why they were so had so much conviction to run it. And Davin himself said on Twitter, he was like, no team has beat that in scrims. We were like, either teams are baiting you hard and saying it's a great thing in scrims, or genuinely, that was the first time we saw an answer. But you saw it work here against CIS Hope. It just required that supercharger online. CIS Hope going to do what they did before. They're switching up to match against this 3-3 comp by splitting them in half.
And using the Mei to do that. The wall not the best placement. Here comes the sound barrier to reinvigorate them. They push in 6 bodies on the point. Cloudy follows up with an Earth Shatter. He's going to break through Sharik, Chow, Kenzie, Main. They're all going to the grave. And it's the Mei to stall out using that ice wall. This is so solo queue. It's unreal. Team Gigantti, they're not playing on the ladder. They're playing in officials and Overwatch contenders. And it's just stalled for CIS Hope. It's already ticking down just a couple more percent, 6% in fact, and the drip feed is strong. They're unable to get anything impactful done against Team Gigantti, and there you have it. They're going to take Volskaya, they're going to take the series, and they're going to guarantee themselves that first place undefeated spot.
Gigantti fans everywhere, you have been rewarded for your loyalty. It pains me to say it, this shill here has been rewarded for his loyalty as well. CIS Hope, been a rough couple of weeks. Losing to Eagle Gaming last week, losing to Gigantti this week. This one, maybe you expected a bit more than last week, but there's going to be some questions for those guys to ask themselves internally ahead of next week. They've played very well, to be fair. This series was closer than it looked, but ultimately, it is Gigantti who'll walk away with the 3-0. We still have one more map to go to, mind you, so let's not write them off completely. They can still take a map back.
Well, we're going to find out if they can do that after a quick break. Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders Europe. We're in the final series of the final... We're in the final map of the final series of the final day.
Of the final week.
Of the final week. Everything's coming to a finale, shall we say.
Except the season.
Except the season
3.
Yes, we got plenty of more to do with that. But of course, CIS Hope, they haven't made enough maps, so Team Gigantti going to win this series 3-0 with one more map to play for that map difference and, of course, fight money. Checked in the break, CIS Hope, they're not actually in danger of falling to 3rd place, so we now have them cemented. Team Gigantti, your #1 seed from Group B. CIS Hope, your #2 seed from Group B.
And that's because of the draw, I assume.
The draw did hinder it, but I think actually Eagle Gaming needed to 4-0 their opponents to make it a viable option, and CIS Hope needed to get 0 forward. It's looking like that's a possibility, but of course the first one didn't come through.
I love asking you questions because it means you go into more detail. And now the viewers understand, I understand, everyone's happy. Thank you, Fount of Knowledge, Tridd.
Only when it comes to playoff seedings.
Only when it comes to playoff seedings. The rest of it, we'll leave it there.
I have approximate knowledge of many things.
Well, approximately, we're going to be heading to somewhere near Italy. It's going to be Rialto as our final map going into it. Let's not forget, we've seen some interesting comps come out on this. I say it at the start of every single map because it's true. Young and Beautiful, always the team we speak about. Eagle Gaming, we've seen them run quad tank all the way up to the full hold doors on this map as well. All kinds of stuff comes out, but one guy, again, that I want to speak about is Shatter on that Farah. Every single time these guys play this map, he pops off on that first point defense. That's exactly what they were doing first, so we can see whether or not he's really got the pop-off potential once again this week.
Hoping he does. He's had it so far on the Genji.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic performance so far, especially on Iconvolt. If you're just tuning into the series, go watch the VOD back and watch Shadow on Iconvolt on that Genji. Absolutely incredible. It is peak Season 1 Shadow, except he's got a lot more resources, well, a lot more efficient resources being pumped into him, and it does pay dividends.
It's not even just into him, it's just the fact that his team are also getting things done alongside him, so it gives him more time and more flexibility to operate in a way, to do his things, to do Shatter things that we always spoke about last season. He's still doing them in Season 2 as well. CIS Hope then 20 seconds until the gates open. Interesting comp they're choosing to roll with. The Symmetra clearly not going to be the solid pick. I'm still curious to see if when we see Symmetra come into the live patch, if we see that kind of stuff happen. The crazy teleport plays, it's very viable. We've seen some crazy stuff in the past. And the season will continue to surprise us, no doubt.
I'm sure it will. Good to see some more changes on the side of CIS Hope, but if they're going to be running solo DPS, you may as well make it a Bastion.
Why not? We've seen teams do it before already. In this case, it's not single DPS, sorry, not single heal, so they're making sure they've definitely got enough to pat behind it. 2 main healers, not something we really usually see, but in this case, why the hell not?
Well, Team Gigantti, they're playing off to the side. They're looking to emerge and really catch them off guard. Lots of body blocks need to come in for CIS Hope to stop a charge coming through. Kenzie going down low, but he won't die. The pocket's too strong, but it can't beat the burst damage of a far rocket. Chow will punish Shadow for that, of course. CIS Hope not put back to the spawn room just yet. Resurrection going to bring Kenzie back. He can set it up. A shatter already for Sharak will knock down Cloudy. And the charge through onto Marsa. Kenzie's set back up on the ship, so he's going to be able to mow down anything that stands in his way. Close enough to a team kill for CIS Hope.
Someone needs to Photoshop Captain Kenzie and his motley crew, because every single time we see them bring it out, they always manage to make this work. And the thing with Bastion is that although 300 HP doesn't sound like a whole lot, he's got a bit of armor, and his passive, let's not forget, Jesus, words are hard, gives you 20% damage reduction as well. So you are actually quite tanky when you're set up in that situation. Problem is you've got a Gigantic death ball rolling towards you pretty much all times. It's not so easy.
Full speed ahead, they're going to counter around the corner. They know they can stop it here before it hits point A and use the terrain to block out a lot of this Kenzie damage. He does have tank form available though, so if they want to play hide and seek, he can go hunting. You're right, Cloudy. He's got that shatter. Waiting for the right time. He knows Sharak is proficient at blocking this. Won't be able to block all of it. There's the tank form from Kenzie. He's going forward. Fires 1, fires 2. Not able to get these shots to connect because he's so concerned about moving too far forward. And also he's got an RCK in his face, blocking their way. Grabs on the surge, pulls them together. They're all locked into one spot, and the self-destruct coming in just a fraction too late. Won't get any kills for them. There's a lot of contention over this singular point A. 2.58 needs to separate them. Kenzie's going to be brought back into the fight. There's a shatter from Cloudy. Only finds Kenzie.
Oh,
that might be enough. So I think Team Gigantti are going to be able to push CIS Hope back, and they're going to have to try it again.
There's a massive wave coming out of Unfix there as well. They'd already lost the Bastion. It wasn't the best call. CIS Hope there actually had a very crucial mistake when we saw him enter into that tank form, because we saw the Orisa Holt come out onto the left-hand side. He moved to the right to try and pick them off, but they all got pulled away from him on the other side of the cart. So had no way of being able to hit those members who were dragged away, and that's when you saw the whole attack sort of fall apart from there. CIS Hope, though, aware that they're not going to get a chance to do this again, they're going to switch things up this time and go with a good old Farah Hanzo.
Sacrificing a lot of ult charge to make this happen, but there's not much verticality on the side of Team Gigantti. Just Ripper and RCK. They'll be the ones to take out the aerial Farah. Ripper's got that coalescence, so he's the only one who could make it happen quite critically, but Kenzie going low. RCK giving him some TLC, and Ripper comes out already. It's just going to be Shadow knocked down, and they're losing a member, but Marsa answers by taking out Sharek as well. The aggression caught him off guard, and the DJ was able to give a nice bit of tinnitus to the Juggernaut.
They managed to stagger them out here with a couple of kills. This could potentially be one more attack for CIS Hope. As it stands, they get at least 2. You hear that 60-second warning from the announcer there. CIS Hope, Unfix has got the barrage. That could be the big one for them they're looking towards. On the other side, though, we've seen RCK work magic with these self-destructs in the past.
It's been a bit of a coin flip for Barrage. Davin's very close to his own ultimate, just needs to stay alive. The sound barrier will help make sure of that. Kenzie's still going to take out Ripper, and the Dragon Strike's going to cut through their defensive position. Marsa will go down to it, so they're struggling to have the healing come out. Ripper and Shadow going to be there. RCK finding Sharek, and now they're sitting in the Transcendence. Eng's going to bring Sharek back into the party. Look at the ultimates available. Cloudy's about to get Earthshatter. Coalescence online to keep everyone topped up. Barrage is there for Unfix, still holding on to that ult. But Chow and Sharek, they've done enough to take out the tank line and push forward. Unfix using it only on RCK, but blocked out a lot of it. Will still get the D-Mech and the kill. Shadow may answer with a kill of his own, but it's just supports, and they have to deal with a lot of members of CIS Hope. It's not looking good for them. Point A should be captured by the Space Bears.
There's someone just sticking this one as well. For at least for now, I was going to say Cloudy is alive, but charges a bit too far forward. This should be their push in. There comes the Dragon Strike for good measure. CIS Hope will push forward and capture point A.
Next 2 minutes 30 in the time bank for them, so it's putting a dent in what Team Gigantti are going to have to do when they go onto the offense. The further they push it away, the more likely they are to win the map, but of course there are no guarantees. So already, Unfix playing very aggressively, already raining down rockets with the Farah.
If it had come to a Gigantti victory on that first point there, I would have pinned the whole thing down on RCK, because whilst he only caught 1 kill with his self-destruct, what he did do was force Unfix and Kenzie to flee away. It was in the open. They had to back away behind cover that was far away from the point itself. You saw the concussion blast come out of the Farah to knock him away to safety time. That's what stopped them getting full comboed there and then. Ultimately, it didn't matter. Speaking of mattering, though, Unfix catches Cloudy.
They knock him off, and there's another Soundwave kill from Marsa, who takes out Chow, but Sharek's will take him out afterwards as well. CIS Hope, after a rocky conclusion of point A, getting this payload in a very fast motion.
Gigantti need an answer to Unfixed, I feel, here as well, because he's doing what we've seen him do previously. He's not using that barrage because he knows what it does when it roots you in place. Doesn't want to choose it freely and sacrifice his life for it. He wants to make sure he's continually raining down damage. But Gigantti, they haven't been able to shut him down yet. I don't think I've seen this guy die yet on Farah. He just keeps on doing his thing. They've either got to change things up or find an answer to him with what they've got. Normally that comes in the form of the Coalescence and the D.Va, which is what they've got online.
They're committing with the goats, and they're going to use that D.Va to ground him, knock out the airspace with a nice little bomb. Payload's moving closer and closer. Cloudy has to stop the progress by putting himself on the point. It does make him vulnerable without the healing. They can't step away for even a second. Here comes the Coalescence. Unfix has that barrage. Shatter going to be dropped into a Graviton Surge. The sound barrier only does so much to keep Cloudy alive, but it won't be enough. And Marsa actually being the one to take Unfixed out. Team Gigantti have pushed CIS Hope back, and they have a spawn advantage position for that payload with 30 seconds remaining.
Very cheeky from Davin, because Chow managed to get down his Graviton Surge, which locked Cloudy in place, and that's why they then killed him. But as they all dropped in to make sure he definitely died because of the sound barrier that came through, immediately there was the Graviton Surge from the other side. Davin dropped it down, all the members got caught in it, and for Gigantti there, it was a simple case of picking up the key members and closing it out.
Self-destruct comes over, finds Main. There's an angle for Unfix to get the barrage kill, but he's not the only one bringing him home. Kenzie gets one. Chow's going to follow up as well. They're going to bring Sharek back. RCK deals with Unfix, but he's already done the dirty. 5 seconds remaining. They can push it out. If Team Gigantti are quick, they can still contest point B, but it has to be lightning fast.
I think it was We Have Org earlier on who got to this stage where they won both the first and the second point in overtime. Might be something about CIS's Hope's turn to do the exact same thing.
Able to sidestep that Dragon Strike easily. It puts a little bit of distance between Ripper and the rest of the team, but Cloudy's still able to get the healing. RCK comes into time. Shatter blocked out. No one's going to go down to it. Cloudy's getting close to his own one. Ripper's going to use the Coalescence early. Davin getting the first kill onto Sharek. He goes down. Unfix going very low. Transcendence is there. He's going to have to dip down. Graviton Surge going to pull them all together, but they're not going down. The Flame Strike will hit multiple members. Cloudy has a charge, being taken out by Kenzie, and a charge by Sharek. Here comes Team Gigantti. They're still dominating the kill feed. Chow needs to die as well as Kenzie, but more importantly, Eng. Self-destruct going up in the air. Chow, I don't think has the barrier. He will pull it out in the last second. Kenzie still gets RCK. Sound barrier for Team Gigantti to keep him alive. Chow just needs to drop down, and they are going to they're going to stop them short of point B. We now have the benchmark, and we know this is the final round of this series. Team Gigantti's turn to see what they can do on offense.
What a way to end the map as well, with the 3 supports. The 3 musketeers, you may as well call them. They were the ones doing all of the fighting there. You had the Lucio, you had the Brigitte, you had the Moira. They were kicking out all the damage to make sure the final straggling members of CIS Hope went down, and you saw the outcome. They literally solo held, and then Cloudy charged at the end like, I'm here, don't worry. We don't need you anymore, the round is over. CIS Hope now the ones going on to defense. Looks like they might be rolling out with Captain Kenzie on that Bastion once again. Gigantti, I'm curious to see what they choose to run with here, because they're one of the teams that we've seen the most variety from when it comes to this map.
CIS Hope, I imagine they will probably attempt to run this Bastion on defense again. I can see them rolling it out. I don't think Unfix will stay on the Doomfist. I think that might be a tribute to Shatter. Bless up to the Shatter. And maybe we'll be rolling out with it. But they're on defense, so we'll have a better idea first. But there are a lot of flank opportunities for Doomfist to capitalize on if he's given adequate time on this map. And Unfixed, still looking like he's going to roll with it.
He's got 40 seconds. Let's give it to the 30-second mark, and then we can speak about it. We'll say that much. You can almost build for the next 7 seconds if you wanted to. Maybe they're trying to go for some cheese off round to the side here. That looks like it. They're just trying to hover as far away from the main actual fight, or where it will normally be, as they can. This is
just around the corner, taking a leisurely stroll by the seaside.
Okay, I'll roll with it. I'll wait. I'll give them one chance.
Usually they would set up with this rather than waiting around the corner. There you go. They're going to go find an actual position, because it's not like you can emerge onto Team Gigantti. You have to set up preemptively if you have this Bastion, and there's not a clear line of sight to that point they're holding on, so I don't think they can spot out what's going to happen. Just going to have to roll as one. And then holding on this left angle, they might want to go for the alternative route.
Unfix is hanging off just the left-hand side of your screens right now, so he might be able to get a flank on. In fact, they're all going to run towards him. So, no, I lie, actually. He's inside the building here. I lied.
Okay, so I
thought he was hanging off for a lurking potential try and flank, but no, he's going to stay safe.
They're going to leave the payload there for now and take this high ground position and merge through, jump on with the speed boost. Kenzie doesn't know where to look, but he's still getting the damage out. Unfix will take out Davin. Cloudy moving on to main. Eng's going to go down. Kenzie gets the D-mech. Now they're moving the payload, but of course, there's a man advantage for CIS Hope. They're up there high. Oh no, massive booped off Sharek as well. They've lost one of their tanks. Kenzie and Unfix, they're DPS by themselves with no healing. Masa going super aggro on the Lucio to get things done, and Team Gigantti break through the first point hold of CIS Hope.
When you know that is literally 0 healing there, why not go super aggressive? Masa just being like, yo, there's no healing there. They can't negate the damage I'm dealing to them. I want to go in. Lucio's dream of this day, when there are no healers on the enemy side and you can afford to go that balls to the wall.
Hey, 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 as he jumps up there and gets the boop and multiple kills. He did manage to knock Sharek off the map before he got the kills on the Bastion. And Team Gigantti moving very far forward. They want to avoid the chokehold that usually comes in. Masa again, Soundwave kill on the Sharek. This guy's going absolutely nuts this round.
I'm going to say the guy's doing God's work here on Rialto. Still curious if they manage to get started on this first point, or if CIS Hope can actually take a hold here, because as it stands right now, Gigantti the one's pushing through.
Got him completely out of the choke. They're not letting him get set up. Sharek's going to come in with the charge. Will collide with Davin and then follow up on Masa. Finally gets his revenge for the shenanigans that have happened so far. He's going to go so low. It just takes a rocket booster from RCK. And there's the capture. No stall coming out for CIS Hope. And with 4 minutes 40 in the time bank, they pretty much just have to capture point B to win this map and secure the 4-0.
Isn't going to be too much for them to do, to be honest, but here comes CIS Hope charging back out. Got the double projectile on side. They want an answer to all these tanks that keep on getting thrown at them by Gigantti. This series being down 3-0, they haven't yet found one. This could be their opportunity. However, there are 4 ultimates on the side of Gigantti. Shadow's going to kick things off with that rally.
Pulling roll up as you'd expect. Early armor boost for them. You've got Cloudy sitting on the Shatter. There was a trap for RCK. Here comes the Shatter from Sharek. Not sure how many people got knocked down by that one, but it hasn't changed the tide of the battle. There's the Transcendence to react to Elliot's Cloudy's Shatter, and the Sound Barrier to react to the Transcendence, as well as the Coalescence. Graviton Surge pulls some members together, but it was, of course, eaten up. The barrage is coming out, but guess who's wasn't eaten? Davin will pull members of CIS Hope in. Sharek and Chow can get taken out. N goes for a very greedy resurrection, but it's just going to cost him his life. The payload's in motion, 3 minutes 50. One more defense for CIS Hope.
They might not even get the chance to have one more defense. The members aren't back in time here. It's going to push all the way through. They do get one on the point, but they've gone down almost here. It's just Chow. It's just the main tank Tridd. They're trying to hold on, but Gigantti are in full control.
And they're going to finish this one out as quickly and as dominantly as they have done the entire season. Unfixed, killing himself with the rockets, but it doesn't matter. Team Gigantti, they're going to win this Clash of the Titans 4-0.
We always speak about these big teams and say it's the small micro differences. And you saw RCK, when he ate that Graviton Surge coming out of Unfixed, he was basically just sat just immediately underneath him. He had the Hazari on the high ground firing the Graviton Surge from the top. He ate it as it flew down. So just great positioning and awareness from RCK. It's every single time there is a Zarya on the other side, they've got their number, they know what they want to do, and they're always there, ready and waiting.
How can a Zarya react to what a Diva's going to do in terms of defense matrix plays? If you can't
Nothing.
see the Diva, you just assume, okay, he's off doing something else. Boop! And immediately eaten out by RCK. Fantastic performance. He's been doing it all series. Iconvolve particularly. He ate that crucial, potentially map-winning Dragon Strike out from underneath his opponents. We're going to go over to the analyst desk and they're going to close out the show.